we are on a very quiet and peaceful Sunday morning, and we're back on the River Soar, and everything's flat and quiet today. There's absolutely no wind. Lovely, a bit autumnal. Yesterday we cycled to a little place along here somewhere, which I hope to see in a minute, where there is one of only 2 chain ferries that are left in this country. And you get in it and the chap pulls you across to the other side of the river on a chain, and it's been in operation there for hundreds of years. And it's amazing that it's still going. We didn't go on it, we weren't going to make him pull us across the river and back, but it was really nice to go and see it. So here it is. And this is the site of the chain ferry, and there he is. They had 50 people go across it yesterday, so that's not bad. I think it's free as well. We were moored with a chap called Carl yesterday at Zoosh, or Zosh, and he told us that there was a tree fallen down that somebody has carved a bird from, and I've just spotted it over there. Clever use of space up there. These are residential moorings under a railway arch, and someone's built a whole room in there. Well, serendipity plays a lot in the daily life of a boater, and today we wanted to moor up at Barrow on Soar, which was rammed with kamikaze plastic flamingo pedalos and other things. So we've come down and we've found this towpath side mooring with our own private waterfall over there. Very nice it is too. Nice little wickerwork sculpture over there. Bank holiday weekend, so the pub up there is rammed, but a nice place for us to stay, I think, for a day or two. Today we're taking the walk around Mount Sorrel, and we've come up to Castle Mount. The castle here was destroyed in 1217, so it's not been here for some time, but they do have a war memorial here, and it looks out over the River Soar and to the largely flat countryside around. We could smell burning when we came up here, and it turns out that there was a large grass fire here a couple of weeks ago. They don't know what caused it, but I suppose it would be fags or a portable barbecue or something, and it's went very close to the houses just on the other side there. So all the trees are looking rather sad, but it does look like it's mainly the leaves that are burnt rather than the trunk, so hopefully they'll come back next year. And the ground is burnt, but in places after a bit of rain last week it looks like the grass is making a recovery. So might be good for morel mushrooms here after a fire. They like to come on burnt land, who knows. What's in there?
Loads of 3 or 4 old cars, like classic cars, which are really good knit.
Oh yeah, oh god, it smells really
Smells proper.
racetracky in here, doesn't it?
It smells like a bloke's shed.
A bloke's shed, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, look at this. That's God, that's in nice nick, isn't it? Wow, that's an early bike. What is that? It says Jap on it, but I doubt it is Jap. New Imperial. I don't recognise that. Look at the horn on it.
Yeah. But you wouldn't hear that coming.
Oh, there's the old Shell sign up there.
There's a penny farthing over there.
I prefer the motorbike. Oh, combo.
I might come back with my camera.
Oh, it's a pedal combo. It's not even a motorbike one. Oh no. Couldn't do that with no engine. That looks like an old Norton in there, doesn't it? Velocet. Vincent. Oh yes. I had friends still riding this sort of bike in the early 80s. The smell in here is divine. It's leather and oil. They make aftershaves with that smell, I think. And the perfect cream tea. Warm homemade scones, crispy on the outside. Big pot, 1 Earl Grey tea bag.
No attitude.
No attitude, and butter as well as jam and cream. It's exactly what you want in a cream tea. Well, it's exactly what we want in a cream tea. The River Soar, although very gentle at the moment, is prone to flooding, and there's lots of warnings on it. And they have a water management system here in operation with flashing lights and emergency pontoons if it goes into flood. And you can see the effects of the flooding here. This is the original footpath, which ends there. So it's all been washed away. Interesting weeping willow in both senses there. Anyway, the footpath is now around here and under the side, and we've seen lots of that up here, so the river must be getting wider in places. As we pass through Leicester, the big scary weir has got absolutely not a drop of water going over it. In fact, it's almost flowing back from the edge, which goes to show how low the water levels are. Well, we've just moored up for the day, and then once we got ourselves settled, we suddenly saw all this on the towpath. And there is a tea house up at the lock up there, and they said that you can get scooter boys along here at night, but they don't go up as far as the lock house because they've got cameras up there. So we're moving up one just in case. We continue down to Market Harborough, where we haven't been before, and we should get there late tomorrow or on Saturday. The day after, we'll see, depends how the days go. On the canals there's a sort of rule of 3, so they say, generally speaking, that you can go 3 miles an hour or 2 miles an hour and 1 lock, or 2 locks and 1 mile, that sort of thing. And we've never tested it out, but today we're doing 7 miles and 11 locks, so that's 18 divided by 3, should take 6 hours. Canal route planner says 4, but they're always optimistic, so we're going to check it out and see exactly how long it takes. We left at 10 to 10, so we should get to our destination at 10 to 4. There's lots of variables. You could be doing the locks with someone else and have a really good system going. Today, because the locks are all quite close together, Henry is cycling on and getting them ready for me, which will speed things up. But at the same time, we're on the Leicester arm of the Grand Union Canal, which is very shallow, so your speed has to slow down, because on the shallow waters you're pulling all the water out the side, so you don't have good steering if you go too fast, and it's not good anyway for the canal. So we'll see how we get on. Ooh, look at the size of that fish. It's huge. No idea what it is. Someone more knowledgeable than me will know. But it is a bit smelly, or something is. I think it's dead. Well, this was basically our destination for today, but we've made it in 3.5 hours. So we've beaten the rule of 3 by loads, but I think we've been super efficient today. So we're going to continue for a bit. We're trying to beat the rain that's due to come in this weekend, so we're hoping to cower in Market Harbour while the heavens open. Ooh, well, after making great time, I'm now stuck in a pound. You can see how much the water's dropped, and I've just slid over a pile of silt there. And although I'm floating just, I can't really go forward or back. I think there's another lock just around the corner, so Henry's gone up to let a bit of water down and rescue me. All of a sudden I'm going backwards, so that means there's a bit of water. Not very easy. I can feel it sliding over silt, so I just have to go really slowly and try to keep in the middle, which is easier said than done. There's a bit of a breeze blowing. Henry has just found some chicken of the woods on the lock gate, just enough for 2. So here we are at the junction where Foxton Locks are, and it's a real destination place. There's 3 pubs, tea rooms, and this being Sunday, there's a lot of people, and there's a smell of roast dinner coming from everywhere. And we'll take a walk up to the site of the old inclined plane, and I'll show you a video from the museum to see how they used to lift the narrowboats.
He was the Grand Junction's engineer, and he were in charge of building the lift. W.H. Gwynn from Hammersmith in London, they was the builders. 140 blokes it took to do the groundworking. That hill, see, it's all man-made and chock full of concrete. The ironwork come up from London like a great big Meccano set. It were all riveted up together here on site. It were the biggest thing as had been built in Leicestershire since the could first come here. Each tank weighed 230 tonne, including the water, and could take 2 narrowboats up and 2 on and down every 12 minutes. All that extra traffic they was expecting never happened, did it? In 1909 they had to rebuild the locks so as steamboats could go through at night. The traffic were getting less and less, and the lift were needing a lot of expensive repairs. So in 1911, it were mothballed to save money. It were finally cut up and sold for scrap in 1928.
And this is the site of the old inclined lift. All the metal structure has gone. In fact, the boatman who bought it all as scrap loaded too much onto his boat, broke the back of the boat, and it sunk to the bottom of the canal. But this hill, as they said in the film, is completely man-made and just filled with concrete. This is one of the icebreaker boats. They used to have much colder winters and the canals would often freeze, and so in order to keep them open for the working boats, they would send one of these along, 12 horses pulling it, 15 men inside, and they would rock it to make the ice lift up and crack before the boat crashed through it all. And if that didn't work, they'd have to shut the canal. So that's where we end as we turn down to Market Harborough. See you next week. Please subscribe, and I'll leave you with a band we heard on Bank Holiday Monday. Bye for now.